Alright, hello and welcome back to Ashgabat Cat's Let's Play That. Today we're taking a look at Xenon, and unfortunately due to my inability to read Roman numerals, I don't actually know when this game came out. But it is featuring the, quote, Amiga. So yes, obviously the Amiga was a very popular, mostly European video gaming system. Let's see what it's like. So if you guessed weird top-down shooter with that obvious Amiga sound, with FMV sequences, if I was being charitable, that go blip blip blip, then, well, okay, you'd have been 100% right. You know, it's times like this that I wonder if this is not so much a game, so much as some sort of tech demo masquerading as a game. But, 1987... Speaking of entering quarters... So, interestingly enough, it seems like the game is some sort of save feature, because it saves that the demo was on this level, and so it kind of loaded up from there. So that's mysterious, but not something we're interested in. Okay, okay, there was no coin noise, so I got a little bit concerned. But I pressed one player start, and it's starting? Oh, okay. Despite there being no reason to think so, I am in fact in control. Oh my gosh, it is not a moving, this is like a tank game or something. So you control the actual machine, and you can stand around, you can shoot things all you want, get them peas. But, oh my gosh, this is not a good idea for a shoot 'em up. Like, I try to be a positive guy, I try to be charitable to all these games, but sometimes fundamentally flawed is the words I would use. Fundamentally flawed. Is my ship too big? Oh no? Okay. Well, oh my gosh. You know, I would have thought such reckless tactics would not have worked so well, but here I am. Oh, and only then did I die. And, as one would expect naturally, now I'm transformed. Okay, so holding the second button makes the A bar go absolutely nuts, but it doesn't actually transform me back into the tank. And none of the other buttons do anything. You know, this is usually where I would stop playing and watch the demo for instructions. But I did, and it didn't tell me jack. So, okay, that's great. When I can't even determine the genre of your game in the first 5 or so minutes. And also, am I making progress? This could be like one of those, what is happening? Okay, so, did you see that? Is it me or did it count down in numbers, not letters? I mean letters, not numbers. This is just a delightful train wreck of a video game. Honestly, that's kind of when Ashgabat Cat's at its finest, when things are just going so wrong, oh so wrong, and yet they feel so right. So yes, janky, what I assume is a vertically scrolling shoot 'em up from 1987 by the Bitmap Bros, only the finest name in arcade gaming. Do things sound right? Okay, so there must be checkpoints because yeah. There are checkpoints, because I'm stuck already. Oh, interesting. I thought because you can't drive over the raised portions as a tank, that you wouldn't be able to fly over them as an airplane. Oh, you press the transform button once, and then you turn into the Ladybug Racer. Okay, believe it or not, this game is starting to make more sense. Now it's not starting to get easy. Oh, come on, come on. Oh, my transformation gauge ran out. Is that true? Is that an accurate representation of events? So let's pay more attention to my transformation gauge here. So does it, like, require concentration to maintain my form or something? Because I would really rather fight the boss as something that is constantly facing towards the boss. Like, you ever played Fantasy Zone? Say what you will about Fantasy Zone, but that game had bosses figured out. And with regards to player space. So Fantasy Zone is like a free range shoot 'em up. You can move left, you can move right. It's horizontally scrolling. And you can... Oh! And just in time to completely mess me over, I run out of jet transformation. So I don't think it's limited so much as the developers just really did not want you to get past this first level. Now, I'm getting hit by 1,000 of those things, but evidently it doesn't matter. No, it does matter. Okay. So is F my fuel and my ability to be one versus the other? Or is F my life counter? And if F is my life counter, 1, why is there 9, 8, 7, 6? Oh, player 1 score. Oh no. Oh, today's high score. Oh, okay. I was so entranced by the upper right-hand corner, I just forgot to play the game. Like, it's telling you hey. Oh, it's giving me time to enter my name. Sorry, I'm just... The upper right-hand corner, it just keeps going, and it's so fast, but it's so informative. Huh. Produced with the Commodore Amiga microcomputer. Arcadia. Also, this is Arcadia, California. So, if I'm reading this correct... So if I'm reading this correctly, that means that somebody in the United States made a game for the Amiga. Honestly, I didn't know that was actually possible. I thought, like, the only Amiga fans were in Europe. And man, are there a lot of Amiga fans in Europe. Also, weirdly, I heard the Mega Drive was more popular in Europe rather than the United States. That's kind of interesting. You never would have thought, right? Well, it kind of reminds me of the apocryphal story where for every Super Bowl, they always print 2 sets of shirts, one for both teams. And so when one team wins, then they immediately ship all the old shirts off to, and the article said, some town in Africa. And they even had, like, little pictures of them wearing, like, Jets things or whatever. I forget what Super Bowl it was. This might have been a long time ago. But it was, the article did pose the interesting notion, what if there was an alternate universe where Tom Brady was some guy who always choked, and the Patriots were just perennial challengers but never winners? Can you imagine such a world? Time for the Ladybug. It seemed to be strangely effective at this part of the game. Yeah, wow. I guess it kind of it makes you ponder the notion of whether air superiority is really all that worth it, when you could just have a simple little Roomba-shaped little guy just kind of rumble around and just make its way. Also, interestingly, the Roomba lets you be, like, more than halfway up the screen, but then the Jet, like, you can only be... The Jet, you can be, like, exactly halfway up the screen, but the Roomba lets you be slightly more than halfway. So I just held down the fire button for a second there, and I thought that, like, changed my fire or changed me to a jet? I don't know. I don't really understand anything in this game. I pretend to, but it just kind of happens. Ooh, wide shot. That'll help me lose the power up against the boss because I transform into the inferior form. Whoever designed this video game, they really knew what they were doing when they were making arcade games. Because it's like, okay, arcade game checklist. 1, blatantly unfair. 2, uses up a lot of quarters. 3, simple yet counterintuitive controls. Yeah, this guy, he could teach a masterclass on programming for the arcades. And what makes this more baffling is the Amiga has, like, what, 1 button? I think that's actually true. It's got a keyboard and whatever, but you want to play on the Amiga pad or whatever that's called, and it's got like one button, I thought. Oh jeez. Is it me or is my ability to go up strangely limited when he starts going to the side? I guess not. That is the worst chorus of digital noises, let's call them. Oh, guy's gonna talk. No? Okay, I thought that was the end of the level, but it turns out the fun is just beginning! Oh my gosh. Okay, now I'm a little bit bored, because I know the final boss is gonna be nowhere near as fun as that boss. It's not like that boss was fun, but it was at least fun in the sense that I knew I could probably, you know, someday, if I tried real hard, beat him. But this next boss, well, anyone's bets are up for bets. Do you ever just, like, say things out loud, and then just realize, like, what I said actually sounds absurd. Why did I even say that? Yeah, those ships that come at you at the speed of light, there's a reason I don't hang around the top of the screen for shoot-em-ups. And it's because ships like that exist. So, are they trying to trick me into going down to fight them? Because if I know one thing, it's like, so long as I can't advance in the jet form, why would I bother with the ladybug form? Is it a ladybug or a Roomba? Are ladybugs just... Okay, one interesting... Oh no, you can do that with both forms. If you hold down shot button, then you get auto fire. This is an immensely useful fact, and I wish I had known that earlier. That's why I tell you guys these things, so you don't have to make the same mistakes I did. Like playing this game. You know what? I'm just gonna stare at the upper right-hand corner of the screen. It moves so fast. Ticker bars are such an inefficient medium for information exchange. And yet, when they go so fast, and especially at 60 FPS on YouTube, they're so enthralling. I can't even tell if my score is higher than the high score. And it's terrible because it's showing me the high score table right there, and I still can't figure it out because I'm just looking at that ticker. I feel like more games should have like such a crazy fast ticker just going by, just to like distract the player's attention, and so they lose credits. But it's like, technically it's fair because like they don't have to look at it. It's just a distraction. You know, speaking of distractions, this whole game is a distraction. In fact, the whole right-hand screen is like so many things are moving. Oh my gosh. Like I think they figured out the secret to arcade games. In fact, I wouldn't be too surprised if this cabinet had like a giant flashing light on the marquee or something, and it's just constantly flashing. And you ask, it's like, why is it flashing? And they're like, well, obviously the arcade operator is not going to tell you. It's to distract arcade players and steal their quarters. This whole game is like a bunch of giant flashing lights, and then you've got the Amiga demo scene music going in the background, and it's just... This is an arcade game like no one else has ever made, and probably like no one else will ever make ever again. But I'm glad that I got to experience the Xenon, so thanks, Paul Robertson, or whoever it was, the programmer's name. Thanks for bringing us the wonder that is Xenon.